Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Muzzy McGee here again. We're here for another one, another live session, another daily workout routine. And today we're going to go over as exactly what we've done the last couple of days, including this picking exercise that we've been working on over the last couple of days. I'm going to inject another one in there in the next couple of days or so, one that I have been working on behind the scenes, which is great because it's going to help us get better at that. So we're going to start off with the warm-ups. The alternate picking we did 95 yesterday, so we're going back to 75 beats per minute today, and then we're going to do the spider alternate picking at 75 beats per minute, followed by the tapping at 75 beats per minute. We are going to change up that exercise next week. We're going to replace one of those exercises with something else, so the tapping one's going to be replaced by something else, just to vary it up. And we're going to have to do that every couple of weeks because practices get boring. You got to introduce different things, different techniques. So, followed by the sweep picking pattern that we're going to do at 75 beats per minute. Then we're going to get right into the scales. We're going to do the F major scale, the F sharp, G flat major scale, followed by the G major scale. We're going to talk about some things real quick right before we get into everything else. But before we do that, we're going to get into the chords. Like I said before, we're going to do the C flat or the C major chords, C minor chords, C sharp, D flat major chords, C sharp, D flat minor chords, followed by the D major chords and D minor chords. Because we got to expand our chord vocabulary, and the only way to do that is to keep working on those. By the end of the summer, we will know all the majors, all the minors, all the augmented, and all the diminished chords that are available to us. They will be the melodic chords, which is basically the top four strings, the inside chords, which are all the strings except for the top and bottom E strings, the rhythm chords, which are typically what we consider bar chords, and then the bottom four string chords, which are the ones that start on the low E and go E, D, and G, as far as the strings that you're going to use to make those chords. And the idea is to learn all of them as much as possible. We're going to get into the triads, but later on in the year. And the triads are basically 3-finger chords that you use. And some people think that everybody that improvs, who knows anything about improv, knows that having those chords in your head and readily available helps you so much more when you're doing improv. All right, so real quick, we're going back to the major and minor scales real quick, the major scales real quick. So we're going to talk about that because I was going to say that we need to discuss majors, the modes. Okay, and modes are the relative modes of every major. There are 7 tones given for every scale, and for every one of those 7 tones, there is a corresponding mode. And those modes correspond with the tones of those scales. Now, what that means is that for every major scale, those 7 modes are going to have the exact same flats and sharps. The root note is going to change. So hypothetically, in a major scale, you have F, G, A, B flat, C sharp, and D, and E. Sorry, C sharp, B flat, C, D, and E. And so if you're playing an F major scale, your root note is F. If you're playing the second mode, which is known as the Dorian mode, then your note is going to start on G. But G is going to be the root note. And that means that the G is your root note for that scale, and it means it's going to have the exact same number of flats. So B is still going to be flat. It's just going to be played as the third note of the G Dorian scale, as opposed to the fourth note of the Ionian F major scale, or F major is known as Ionian. The Aeolian scale, which is the 6th mode, or in the book that's translated as the 6th mode of the major scale, is Aeolian. Aeolian is also known as the natural minor. So when you are playing an F major scale, you have F major, and then the 6 accompanying modes. So 7 modes total if you include the Ionian, and the Ionian is the major scale, and the Aeolian is the natural minor. So in the F major scale, you have F Ionian, or F major scale. You have the mode of the G Dorian. You have the A Phrygian, the B flat Mixolydian, or B flat Lydian, I think it's that's what it is. The C Mixolydian, the D Aeolian, and then the E Locrian. And for the F sharp, or G flat major scale. It's F sharp G flat Ionian, the G sharp A flat Dorian, the A sharp B flat Phrygian, the B Lydian, the C sharp D flat Mixolydian, the D sharp E flat Aeolian or the natural minor scale, and then the E sharp G flat Locrian. And for the G major scale, you have the G Ionian or major scale, the A Dorian scale, the B Phrygian scale, the C Lydian scale, the D Mixolydian scale. I'm sorry, let me go back to that. So G Ionian or the major scale, the A Dorian, the B Phrygian scale, the C Lydian scale, the D Mixolydian scale, the E Aeonian scale, and the F sharp G flat Locrian scale. Okay, there we go. So now we've gone over that really quick. We're going to go over those every day so that you understand. When you memorize those scales, the patterns are identical. What changes is the root note of the scale. So like I said, if you're playing an F major scale, it sounds like this. The G Dorian scale is going to sound exactly the same. So you're going to use these same notes, except for the root note, which is going to change. So it's going to sound like this. Same finger pattern, just the root note, the main tone changes. So they're going to sound identical. They're going to look identical. This is the root note. So if you're going to the Phrygian scale, you're going to start on the A. It's going to sound like this. And then the Lydian scale is going to start on the B flat. So it's going to be. Okay? Once you know the major scales, you know all the patterns for the modes. Okay? The idea is understanding that F major and G Dorian are identical in notes. They're identical in how many flats are in the notes, and the spacing between the notes are the same. It's just you are shifting the root note. Okay? Shifting the root note changes the feel of what it is. So this sounds like this. The major scale sounds like this. The Dorian scale sounds like this. Phrygian scale sounds like this. Lydian sounds like this. The notes are identical. The pattern, the finger pattern is identical. The finger pattern is identical, and it just changes the root note of the scale. So once you understand them all, once you know all the major scales, you know all the modes. You just have to understand how all the modes relate to one another. And all the modes are based off of whatever the tone, whatever the scale is, and whatever the notes of that scale are. You're just shifting one note upward and then ending on that note, the octave of that note that you shifted upward. So if you're starting on the F major scale, they start on the F tone. You play F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, and then F being the octave key. Now, if you're doing the Dorian scale, it would be G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, and then the root note would be G again, followed by the Phrygian scale, which is identical in the finger pattern to the Ionian F major scale. So then you just start on the A. So it would be A, B flat, C, D, E, G, and then finished with the A again as the root note. Okay, so I'm sorry for that. We just had to get into that because I need people to understand how these work and how they work together. And so we're going to play the F major scale, the F sharp G flat major scale, and the G major scales today. We're going to start with these warm-ups at 75 beats per minute. Okay, so we're going to put these on, and we're going to get right to work. Okay. Sorry, it was 10 minutes that some people feel is unnecessary, but we're going to talk about this. I'm not going to talk about it every day, all right? We talked about it today. I'm not going to talk about it for the rest of the week. We're just going to get into it, and people are just, if you're following along with the courses, I'm going to put these notes up because now I have access to, excuse me, hiccups. I have access to making notes now because I've posted several videos over the last couple of months. So I'm going to post the notes. I'm going to try to talk about it, and then we're going to just power through, okay? So we're going to get to this right now. We're going to put on the metronome at 75 beats per minute, which I have it on. Turn up the volume a little bit. And let's get after it today, guys, okay? The warm-up at 75 beats per minute of the alternate picking. Alternate picking. All right, now we're going to do the spider alternate picking from the 1st to the 16th fret at 75 beats per minute. And we're going to follow that up with the tapping from the 1st to the 16th fret at 75 beats per minute. We'll go right into the sweep picking pattern. There we go. Sweep picking exercise, I should say. right, well, that is all we can do with that today, and we're going right into the F major scale, right? F major scale. At 95 beats per minute, we're going to increase the tempo here to 95 beats per minute because that is the tempo at which we are doing the scales. Let me hit pause just to make sure this is 95 beats per minute. Okay, yeah. Second position, the F major scale at 95 beats per minute. Third position, the F major scale, 95 beats per minute. Fourth position, F major scale, 95 beats per minute. Fifth position, F major scale, 95 beats per minute. Sixth position, F major scale, 95 beats per minute. Seventh position, F major scale, 95 beats per minute. And finally, the eighth position of the F major scale, which is the octave position, meaning it's identical to the first position but played after the 12th fret. We're going to go right into the F sharp G flat major scale at 95 beats per minute in position 1. Second position, F sharp G flat major scale at 95 beats per minute. All right, third position, F sharp, G flat major scale, 95 beats per minute. Fourth position, sorry, F sharp, G flat major scale at 95 beats per minute. Fifth position, G flat, A sharp major scale, 95 beats per minute. Sixth position, F sharp, G flat major scale at 95 beats per minute. Seventh position, G sharp, F sharp, G flat major scale, 95 beats per minute. And finally, the eighth position, or the octave position of the F sharp, G flat major scale. We're going to get this right. F sharp, G flat major scale, 95 beats per minute. Finally, we're going to do the G major scale at all eight positions, 8 being the octave position, starting from position 1 at 95 beats per minute. Okay. Second position, G major scale, 95 beats per minute. third position of the G major scale, 95 beats per minute. Fourth position of the G major scale at 95 beats per minute. Fifth position of the G major scale, 95 beats per minute. Sixth position of the G major scale at 95 beats per minute. Seventh position of the G major scale at 95 beats per minute. And finally, the eighth or the octave position of the G major scale at 95 beats per minute. Now we're going to get right into the scales. I'm going to turn off the metronome here. And again, I'm going to get out my chord book. I'm sorry, I don't know if this is scales for chords. Woo! It is hot. It is a scorcher. I'm going to get out my scales book. Yeah, because we've got to do the C sharp or D flat major scales or major chords as well as the D major chords, major and minor today. So let's start with the C major chords. Here we go. This D flat major, G sharp, D flat major. Okay. All right. I'm going to run through these a couple of times, guys. And so it's going to be about 10 minutes or so, maybe 10, 15 minutes. And then we're going to go right into two rounds of improv today. I haven't figured out how we're going to do all this, but this is the first day where we're doing all the chords. And we've gone over all the major and all 6 modes of the major scales. So there we go. Now the inside chords. Now the rhythm chords. Now the bottom four. Now we're going to do the C minor chords, the melody chords. These are the inside chords, in case that wasn't clear. Followed by the rhythm chords. All right, and then followed by the bottom four of the C minor chords. Now we're going to go right into the D flat or the C sharp major chords. D flat major. All right, melody chords. We got the 1, so 3, 1, 2. Now the inside chords. You can tell these are just a shift up. These ones right here are the shift. The middle chords or the inside chords are shift up 1 fret for the D flat or C sharp major chords. Now the rhythm chords. down the bottom 4. Now we're going to the D flat minor chords. These are the melody chords. And now we're going to go to the inside chords. 4, 2, 3. No, what's this one? No. Is this one before? This is a weird stretch. Ah. Oh, those are the inside chords. Now the rhythm chords. Nope, that's not right at all. We're going to keep it like this, and then we're going to add this one. Okay, here we go. And here. Now the bottom 4. This is a ridiculous stretch. This is actually hurting my knuckles. 9, 7, 6. It's less ridiculous the second time you try it out. It's just weird the first time you do it. Well, we're going to have to do the D flat. I think we're going to have to do 2 of these a week because this is taking way longer. I might try this out tomorrow because it's taking way longer than I had anticipated. We are almost an hour in, and it's probably because I've been explaining a lot of stuff. I don't swear. Yeah, I totally swear. Yeah, so we're not going to do D major today because these have taken me already 20 minutes just to do the chords. And that's an enormous amount of time as far as being online because we're like the whole idea is to do improv. So we're really only going to have time to do 2 sessions of improv today because I want these things to last an hour with the improv with that. But I'm going to have these last about an hour and a half, but the other 30 minutes is going to be dedicated to improv. And then the other 30 minutes is going to be, so basically 30 minutes of improv plus 30 minutes of working on prepared pieces. So whether or not I'm preparing a piece of a content creator who puts out really, really good guitar licks that are going to help us do improv, or I'm working on a cover song, that will be a 30-minute period of time. Then the other 30-minute period of time will be only dedicated to improvisational music. And then the first 30 minutes should be dedicated just to warm-ups and scales and chords. Okay, that's how it should be broken down. Give or take 15 minutes. So we'll say these sessions will go about 2 hours. But yeah, this I've already spent way too much time on just these alone. So let's get, without further ado, we're gonna get right into this, to these right into these improv session. Slow blues guitar backing track at 55 beats per minute. All right, we're gonna do this again before we go back into commercials. Get some more of this coffee, delicious coffee. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we're going to have in us for this evening. I want to thank anybody who joined us today. I'm sorry it took so long. We had stuff we had to explain about the major and minor or the major chords, as well as their relative modalities. So we talked about that. We don't have to talk about that anymore. I'm going to just start posting stuff on it. So every time we talk about the modes, it's going to be at the beginning of every week. We're doing the F sharp, G flat, and the G flat major scales. And those are the modes that we're going to be talking about this week. And then next week, we're going to move up from, this is going to be, what is it, G sharp, A flat, then the A major scale, then the A flat, A sharp, B flat major scale. The following week, and all of its modalities, we're going to spend about 15 minutes talking about those things like we did today. And I'm obviously going to put up charts when I get the time to do those things. Charts meaning we're going to put up notes onto this page. So those who are following me, you can see exactly what we're working on, exactly what we're talking about. That way we can just move right through them. And I'm going to try to have them up every single week. Like I said, this YouTube channel is only 2 months old. As of right now, it's about two months and a couple of days old. So we're just going to keep pushing to make this better and better and better. The ideas that we practice and we understand it, we practice, and that's it. And I'm just going to be the person that's going to be there trying to motivate you, or at least have you here so that you will be working on whatever it is you're supposed to be working on as far as guitar goes. If you're going to be a musician of any kind, whether it's part-time, full-time, or just recreationally, there's no substitute for practice. None. Zero. Have to do it. You got to do it daily, and you have to try to push yourself daily. So whether you push yourself aggressively or push yourself to say, oh, I'm going to learn like every single scale in like a day. I don't want to say it's impossible, but I'm sure it's really tough. There's a lot of scales. Okay. But I'm understanding the relationships between every scale and how they all go together, and they're all the modalities. Once you learn those, it does go a lot faster. I'll tell you that much. You probably not one day faster, but it is what it is. In any case, thank you guys for joining me. My name is Muzzy McGee. For those of you who are subscribed to the channel, thank you. For those of you who are not subscribed, please subscribe now. Click that like button. People say smash that like button, which is weird for me. I hate asking people to do stuff, but if you can, it's going to help out the channel. In the event that you want to purchase some of the stuff that I'm using, I don't have the chords book up yet because the only chords book I have was written in the 1970s, and I doubt that particular version, also written by Mel Bay, is out there. I think most chord books would usually do, but I will look at a couple of them and I will post one up there. For my U.S. customers or the U.S. people who are watching, check out the description. I have links below. If you use those links for at least the amps, you're not going to buy 15 of the same amps, but you might buy chords like guitar chords, and you're going to buy guitar picks. And these ones that I use and the strings that I use, the D'Addario strings that I use, are also on there. And I use them for a while because I am too poor to continue to purchase strings. So as the channel grows, I'll be able to have a nice new set of strings every, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. And yeah, so we're just going to keep pushing for that. And click on those links. If you're not going to buy, just at least check them out. Maybe it's interesting to you. I know that the chords, if you buy them in the 3 packs that I have, I think they sell them for $5 a pack, or a little over $5 a pack. I think it's like 16 something. 4-pack. It's not bad considering most packs of string cost $8. In any case, yes. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you in the next one, which is tomorrow. Okay, bye.